Hey, second grade, welcome to science and welcome to Mrs. K's second grade. I have not seen or talked to you since we left school on March 13, so it's good to have you here for our science lesson. Well, science is going to be really different than it was in school because I don't have all of my stuff here. As you can see, we're in my kitchen, so I kind of had to make do. And when we left, we were talking about the water cycle, and we really didn't wrap it up. So for today's science lesson, we're going to set up an experiment that you're going to run for 2 weeks. And the next time we talk, I'm going to see, or I'd like to hear from you, what your findings were, okay? So let's review. Hopefully you can see this chart. This is the water cycle. Remember we had talked about there is water. Sometimes it's on land, sometimes it's in a lake, river, pond, or stream. The sun heats that water up and the water evaporates, and when it collects in the sky, it creates clouds. When those clouds get so saturated with moisture, it rains again and the water falls either back into the lakes, rivers, ponds, streams, oceans, or onto the land. And do you remember we created those drawings where we had rivers, ponds, lakes, streams, oceans, all of that stuff. So that is the water cycle. I know you know that really well, but I want you to see it in action. And it's really cool if you watch the news on Fox 17 in the morning. They have been running science experiments put on by one of the weather people there. So if you have your parents check that out, I think you can even go online to Fox 17 News and they keep those experiments listed. This is the first one I saw. So we are going to recreate the water cycle in a Ziploc. And I have to put this up here so you can see what we're going to do. Whoops, hold on. Had a malfunction. Okay, my friends. So what you're going to need a Ziploc. You don't have to have the big giant one. In fact, a smaller one probably works better, but my smaller ones are so cheap that they break, and I don't want to have the stuff that's inside all over my house. So take your clear plastic bag, and you're going to draw that water cycle right on top of it. Let's see if you can see that. Hopefully you can. I'll just bring it closer. How about that? Okay, so there's the water cycle. We have the water, we have land, we have a tree, we have clouds, and we have the sun. You can hardly see it. It's yellow. If you don't have the permanent markers in these colors, just do it all in one color, but you will need a permanent marker to write on the Ziploc bag, okay? So land, water, tree, clouds, and sun. It takes the sun to heat the water, to make the water evaporate, to rise, to form clouds, and then that cycle gets going. Okay, once you have that, you also need to take some water. You also need to take some food coloring. You have to ask your parents' permission. I used blue just because water is blue, but you use whatever you have in the house, okay? Make it nice and blue, or don't make it blue. Okay, maybe it's all out. Oh, wow, great. Don't we love experiments? We're gonna have red water, hopefully. I don't know why that didn't come out. We're gonna try one more time because I'd really like it to be blue. There it goes. Okay, stir it up with a spoon left over from lunch. Make it nice and blue, okay? All right, the next thing, you wanna be by a sink, which is right down in there. Oop, don't wanna do that. We're gonna put it inside of the bag that we colored, okay? Okay, so now I have my water where my water is supposed to be. We are set on that. I'm going to seal it up, try to get the air out. Okay, so I have it all sealed up. I have the water where the water is, but what am I missing? Is the water cycle going to take place just by this? No, we need heat from the sun to heat this water, to make it turn from a liquid into a gas and evaporate and start to form the clouds. So you need to tape this to a window that faces either the east or the west so that it gets plenty of sun. Again, check with your parents so that they give permission onto which window to use. So I'm going to take this and I'm probably going to tape it to one of my garage windows in case it falls. I don't want blue food coloring on the floor, but you figure out a spot. Watch what happens. Maybe you could check every single day. Now we have cold weather this week, but still the heat from the sun will hit those windows and do something to the water that's in this bag. Okay? So keep track of what's happening. I'd love for you to send me pictures of your bag, your experiment, as the evaporation occurs. You can send pictures to my cell phone, and that number is 616-291-9495. Or better yet, just send it to my school email so that I can share it between the friends in your classes. Okay? All right. Go ahead, make that water cycle. See how God has created our world with a perfect design to make sure that we will always have water. Have a great day.